Loke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Canto 3, Chapter 18, titled The Battle Between the Lord Boar and the Demon Hiranyaksha, verse number 13. Maitreya Vacha So Adikshipto Bhagavata Pralabdascha Rusabrusam Ajahara Ulbanam Krodam Kridyamano Ahirat Iva. Maitreya Vacha So Adikshipto Bhagavata Pralabdascha Rusabrusam Ajahara Ulbanam Krodam Kridyamano Ahiradiva. Maitreya Vacha So Adikshipto Bhagavata Pralabdascha Rusabrusam Ajahara Vulbanam Krodam Kridyamano Ahiradiva. Word to word. Maitreya, the great sage Maitreya, Vacha said, Sa, the demon, Adikshipta, having been insulted, Bhagavata, by the personality of Godhead, Pralabdha, ridiculed, Cha, and Rusa, angry, Brusam, greatly, Ajahara, collected, Ulbanam, great, Krodam, anger, Kridyamana, being played with, Ahirat, a great cobra, Iva, like translation by Driven Gaze, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Shpopad ki Jai. Sri Maitreya said, the demon, being thus challenged by the personality of Godhead, became angry and agitated, and he trembled in anger like a challenged cobra. Repeat. Sri Maitreya said, the demon, being thus challenged by the personality of Godhead, became angry and agitated, and he trembled in anger like a challenged cobra. Purport by Prabhupada. A cobra is very fierce before ordinary persons, but before an enchanter who can play with him is a plaything. Similarly, a demon may be very powerful in his own domain, but before the Lord, he is insignificant. The demon Ravana was a fierce figure before the demigods, but when he was before Lord Ramchandra, he trembled and prayed to his deity, Lord Shiva, but to no avail. We'll try to understand this verse. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ya Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Grim Et Krupa Tamham Vande Sri Gurum Denatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindhu Bhayevacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Dadati Swapadantikam. Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. So I didn't prepare too much on this, but a lot of interesting contemplation was there. So we'll try to we'll see the beauty of the Lord, and then we'll go to the crux of the verse here, especially 3 words, very important. Adikshipta, insulted. Everybody goes through it, but how we understand that, we'll try to look at that. And the Pralabdha, ridiculed, both can be on the similar level, maybe different. But and then Brusam, greatly, Rusa, angry. How one can take these insults or ridiculement from others. How we take it, how people can become angry, devotees can become agitated and trembled in anger, just like Hiranyaksha. Here the opposite is happening. Generally, demons do that even to the Lord. We'll see in different pastimes. So So someone who has done to Lord Balaram, how Lord Balaram reacted it. And the most important aspect is Lord Krishna himself is instructing how one should behave, especially for devotees. Especially he's talking to great devotee. Sri Uddhava is talking on the same aspect, how a devotee should take this, the insults, the ridiculement. So the first contemplation I had was, in general, when we look at insulting can be on the platform of words, using the speech. It could be based on the physical level, body. So we have to consider, is it towards us alone, or is it much broader, affecting the whole congregation or the preaching? So these are some of the things we should do. And then second, consider, is it towards the deity? And we see that in Sri Prabhupada's case also, this his reactions, his behavior changed when he was dealing with at these different levels, especially when it towards to the Lord or to the whole movement preaching. Then immediately his reaction is very, very strong. Right away, he used to act upon it and condemn that and correct on that situation right away. He never tolerated that. However great, however number of people, he never hesitated to do that. And we see the examples of Srivas Thakur being thrown out by the disciples of Damodar Pandit, Devananda Pandit. When he went to the Srimad Bhagavatam class, Srivas Thakur was hearing, and then as he was completely in ecstasy, then he was rolling on the ground, and then he was crying. Then the disciples thought this is a great disturbance. They threw him out. And the Guru didn't say anything. Seeing the disciple doing, he didn't react, he didn't say anything. He left it, which is a great insulting a devotee here by physical. And then we see that Haridas Thakur being beaten, but how he reacted it. And we see also in the conversation when Haridas Thakur is being tested again and again, so many times. So in one case where we see that he went to Balaram Acharya's house, and then there was a conversation of glories of holy name. He was discussing on this Gopal, was there, Gopal Chakravarti. Then he was arguing with Haridas Thakur. How can you say that just like the sun, as soon as it comes, without even coming fully, just by that effulgence, the rays, all the fog goes away, disappears. Same way this holy name, even unknowingly chanting, now a vast stage, it can clear all the anarthas and everything. So then he was, no, this cannot be true. What are you talking about? So he was completely in a different mood altogether. The way he reacted, Gopal Chakravarti. So not understanding the position of the exalted position of Haridas Thakur, Brahma Haridas. But Haridas Thakur didn't react so much in a negative way. He took it positively and then went further to quote from Shastra and all. So these are some of the reflections I had, immediate reflections. Now, Lord Krishna's instruction to the very important aspect. Before that, I want to read, because the end result, what Lord Krishna is instructing. So very nice pastime. Please just hear attentively and close your eyes so that you are not deviated. Beautiful pastime of Lord Krishna. Now we tell another story. This is Snigdhakanta and Madhukanta discussing about Lord Krishna's most mysterious, mischievous activities. Then at sunrise, Krishna's affectionate and gloriously youthful friends, followers, kinsmen, cowherd associates, and Sudra servants all met at the entrance of Krishna's charming palace. They all shone with a great splendor. Then, accompanied by servants bearing various articles for his bath, youthful Krishna, the brother of Balaram and the protector of all, entered the bathing room for his early morning bath. Then Subal and other playful, joking, cheerful, affectionate friends, all sons of Vaishya cohorts, came there. Eager for joking words, Krishna stopped to talk with them. He sat down on a glorious seat filled with wonder. All the boys affectionately served him. The soul and body are different. The life and the life force are different, but Krishna and his friends are not different. They are each other's life. They are each other's life force. Morning after morning, Krishna enjoys these pastimes in the company of his friends. Krishna washing Krishna's glorious face, hands and feet, the massage of his body with oil, his back, the washing of his limbs, is being dressed with a pair of garments, is performing achaman, is being marked with tilak, is performing his morning duties, is being dressed in splendid garments and decorated with jewel ornaments, is wearing a peacock feather, and is carrying a flute, bugle, and a stick, all attract my heart. Even Lord Anantasesh praises the servants that massage Lord Krishna's body. This is a very important aspect as we dress the deity. Don't forget to massage the Lord's body, starting with lotus feet and even to the head, as Prabhupada used to take massage. Lord also, it's very nice for us. It helps, and it is also in loving way we should do it to the Lord. The servant who, thirsting after the touch of Lord Krishna's body, lovingly plays fragrant oils in his head, and lovingly massage his feet, arms, and other limbs, attain the same happiness Krishna's parents and gopi lovers attain. Then, wearing yellow garments and accompanied by his friends and servants, Krishna entered the courtyard. Standing before his mother, he became like a lifeless statue. He has come. Glory to his great, graceful sweetness. We should offer arati to him. Please stand before my eyes. May he stand always before my eyes. Suddenly, seeing lotus-eyed Krishna come before them, the people became filled with wonder. How can I describe the wonder they felt? The elder ladies burned in flames of separation from Krishna. Now they were flooded with love for him. Giddy and restless and overcome with pure bliss, they came down from the palace porch. As a cow greets her dear calf, so Yashoda greeted her son. As everyone watched, Rohini also greeted Krishna. Krishna bowed down before the feet of the first one and then the other. Then he honored all the elder ladies. He pleased them all. Then following behind Balaram came Sridham, Sudam, and other boys who always played with Krishna. The learned sons of Brahmana priests also came. The boys honored the ladies there as if they were their own mothers, and the boys delighted their sisters and cousins. Again and again they respectfully stood before each of the elder ladies and spoke respectful words. The goddess who in the assembly of Siddhas, in the assembly of saints who know the conclusions of devotion service and Srimad Bhagavatam, is famous by the name Yogamaya, who makes arrangement for the Lord's pastimes and who is the Lord's internal potency, was manifested there as an austere old lady. Then her name is Purnamasi. The boys all approached her. She happily blessed them all. Her son was a learned Brahmana who thirsted to enjoy pastimes of confidential joking words. He was bound to Krishna with ties of friendship. He has no faults. He was like Narada himself. He was decorated with skill in speaking joking words. His name was Madhumangal. Expertly speaking joking word that touched the heart. He delighted everyone. He was like great treasure standing by Lord Krishna's side. Holding hands, fair and dark, Balarama and Krishna approached their mothers, embraced them, smiling, stood in the courtyard before the palace doors. Then Krishna and Balaram sat on the thrones of splendid gold jewels of many colors. Their glance on everyone was like a shower of nectar. So this is the day of activities. Every day things go on like this, Lord Krishna. So this is one of the day on the birthday of Lord Krishna. So this is to meditate on this beautiful pastimes of the Lord and beauty of the Lord. So I have narrated that. Now we'll actually go to Lord Krishna's direct instruction how one should take these insults and ridiculement and how one should apply it. So Lord Krishna is speaking. अर्धेहि अविद्यमाने अपि संस्मृतिर्न निवर्तते ध्यायतो विषयान् अस्य स्वप्ने अनद्गमो agamo yatha. For one who is meditating on sense gratification, material life, although lacking factual existence, does not go away, just as the unpleasant experiences of a dream do not. One may object, if Lord Krishna insists of material life is false, then why should one endeavor to stop it? Lord therefore explains here that although not factual, material life stubbornly continues for one addicted to sense gratification, just as frightening dream continues for one merged in sleep. The word avidyamana not existing means material life is based on mental concoction. In which one thinks, I am a man, I am a woman, I am a doctor, I am a senator, I am a street sweeper, and so on. As conditioned soul enthusiastically performs his activities based on imaginary identification with the body. Thus, although the spirit soul exists and body exists, the false identification with the body does not exist. Material life based on a false idea has no factual existence. After one awakens from a dream, the dim reflection of the dream may linger in one's memory. Similarly, one engaging in devotions of the Lord may be troubled sometimes by dim reflection of sinful life. One should therefore become strong in Krishna consciousness by hearing the Lord's instruction to Sri Uddhava. This is the starting. So this is the context. Tasmad Uddhava ma bhunksva vishayan asad indriyaihi atma agrahan nirbratam pasya vikalpitam brahmam. Therefore, O Uddhava, do not try to enjoy sense gratification with the material senses. See how illusion based on material dualities prevents one from realizing the self. This is a duality. The ridiculement, insults, becoming angry. These are everything that exists is the potency and the property of the Supreme Lord, meant to be used in His loving service. Seeing material objects as separate from the Lord and thus meant to be possessed and enjoyed by oneself is called Vaikalpikam. Brahmam, the illusion of the material duality. When selecting one's personal object of enjoyment, such as food, clothing, residence, or vehicle, one considers the relative quality of object to be acquired. Consequently, in material life, one is a constant anxiety, trying to acquire the most excellent sense gratification for one's personal pleasure. If one realizes everything as a property of the Lord, however, he will see everything as meant for the Lord's pleasure. He will feel no personal anxiety because he is satisfied simply to be engaged in Lord's loving service. It is not possible to exploit the property of the Lord and at the same time advance in self-realization. Now the verse exact, almost similar verse. Akshipto avamanito asadbi pralabdo asuyato atava. You see the same words. Adikshipta and kshipta here. Avamanita, pralabda, same word. Tadita sanniruddhova vrutya va parihapita nistuyuto murtito vagnair bodhaivam Prakampita Shreyas Kama Kruchragata Atmanam Uddare. Even though neglected, insulted, ridiculed, or envied by bad men, or even though repeatedly agitated by being beaten, tied up, or deprived of one's occupation, spat upon, or polluted with urine by ignorant people, one who desires the highest goal of life in life should, in spite of all these difficulties, use his intelligence to keep himself safe on the spiritual platform. Very important instruction. Throughout the history, many of the above mentioned inconvenience has been experienced by the devotees of the Lord. This is Prabhupada. One who is advanced in God consciousness does not allow himself to become obsessed with material body, even in such conditions, but rather keep the mind fixed on the spiritual platform through proper intelligence. And we see that. I myself have seen few times while distributing books, different people abusing words, foul words. What are you doing here? So, yeah. So we take it. It's all right because in the mission of Srila Prabhupada, so we go on with our distribution when it comes to preaching. So when we wear dhoti and kurta also sometimes, at least I have been used whole experience of half an hour in the shop, disgusting. Who's this guy wearing this using all kinds of foul words? Just get on with our life because this is just the body. What can we do? Nothing much. Reacting means more implication. Further reactions we'll get as we learn from Dromara's mother how to take, not think of negatively of others because that is going to implicate further. Them and us both are in the soup and getting reactions further down. So that's why it is try to avoid, especially if it happens to just us alone, not so much decrying the Lord, defying the Lord, insulting the Lord. Then we should take it in a different way as Lord is instructing. Use your intelligence. So Prabhupada also has done sometimes his own disciples, sometimes seemingly they are there many years, but still sometimes they chastised or they insulted. So but Prabhupada, for him, he took it as, he didn't take it seriously. So he went on with it. But if it happens to the other devotees of the movement or the Lord, he never tolerated even for a second. So the further Lord is instructing here. Sri Uddhava said, "Oh, best of all speaker, please explain to me how I may properly understand this aspect." So They say, oh soul of the universe, the conditioning of one's personality and material life is very strong. Therefore, it is very difficult even for a learned man to tolerate the offenses committed against them by ignorant people. Only your devotees, the important instruction, only your devotees who are fixed in your loving service, who have achieved peace by residing at your lotus feet, are able to tolerate such offenses. And purport, you see, unless one becomes advanced in the process of hearing and chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord, theoretical learning cannot make one actually saintly. One's conditioned personality, the result of long material association, is very difficult to overcome. Therefore, we should humbly take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. We are so wonderfully explained to Sri Uddhava the real meaning of knowledge. So that's why I was narrating that pastime, because meditating on the Lord's beautiful form, meditating on the Lord's lotus feet, especially so when somebody insults, that's why Prabhupada also has a different technique. So sometimes it just happened. Sometimes disciple left. That's what Prabhupada generally used to do in the class also. Sometimes those disciples who cannot direct instruction, direct chastisement, so Prabhupada used to talk in the class, point out the defect, point out the problem in the class. So that is another. Prabhupada knows exactly. For those who could take, he used to chastise, directly say it, especially to Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj and others. But they could take it. Wonderful servants, glorious servants. So that is a wonderful attitude one must have, especially coming from authority, seniors. And it will bother. Definitely, we are not on the pure devotion level. It will bother us for quite some time. Depending on how advanced we are, it will bother for days and months also, of the past incidents. But if we are, then we should meditate on Lord Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet and pray sincerely, especially Panchatattva mantra. We have to sincerely chant and beg Lord Nityananda Prabhu's mercy by that, and Guru's mercy by that meditation on the lotus feet. That's how we should be reading Srimad Bhagavatam anyway. Srimad Bhagavatam is talking that. Tas Srunavan Supatan Vicharana Karo. And Rupa Goswami is giving that verse number 8 in earlier classes we discussed. In the translation, it talks about the Parivas Sutra of Nectar instruction. Sravana Dasya, that's why here also you see Lord Krishna's instruction to Uddhava. Hearing is the most important aspect. We have to constantly hear regularly, other than finishing 16 rounds. More we hear, better it is. And how we should hear? After hearing, we should contemplate what it means and how to apply in life. That's why Sravana Dasya has to gradually come to Smarana Dasya. So Varana Dasya. Varana means it has to go sink into the heart. If there is no sinking into the heart, then you leave it. You will not remember what we discussed today. After the class, we don't remember. We just get on with our life. But when it takes seriously the instruction, how it should be applied, then it will come to Varana Dasya, taking into the heart and doing something with that instruction. Then it leads on to Smarana. You are supposed to meditate, contemplate, reflect, recollection. Then that will lead on to the Sampatti Dasya, the Samadhi Dasya. So unless we hear enough, that's why we have to hear also from Srila Prabhupada. Even disciples of Srila Prabhupada hear every day, on top of reading books. Sometimes they read much more. That's why minimum 16 rounds we should chant. That is the first and foremost. Instead of doing worshipping deity and so many things, first finishing 16 rounds is the top priority. You can offer, if you want to worship the deity, you offer tulsi leaves, massage the lotus feet. That is the first priority. If you have time, you can do elaborate, but then you have to look at consideration Prabhupada. That's why you have to read carefully Prabhupada books. Otherwise, you will misunderstand things and you will be just busy at home. Forget about your deities at temple and you busy at home and doing things. You can do whole day, but that is not what Prabhupada instructed. You have to consider these things very carefully. Prabhupada instructed at different levels, at different timings in the books. But more you read, more you hear Prabhupada's actual essence, what is the principle, what the detail should be, is very clear. It comes very clear how important, especially the preaching mission, and then the worshipping the deity at temple, the service of the deity shouldn't be affected. How to take that very carefully, and even neglecting our own duties, even to that aspect, to that level, we should be considered very carefully. That's what absorption of lotus feet means, serving the deity, lotus feet, serving physically. Sometimes disciples ask Prabhupada, What do you mean by meditating a lotus feet? That means also Padasevan means also serving. So that's why massaging and offering tulsi leaves every day must be done. Not a single day should go by without offering tulsi leaves. Whenever we are on the altar, we should make sure that we are offering tulsi leaves. We should make sure that we have opportunity to massage the lotus feet. This is very important. The more we are absorbed in the lotus feet, more these insults and ridiculement and somebody is criticizing us at the office, at the community, or in the temple with other devotees, group of devotees, especially among more devotees are there. When somebody is being insulted, singled out, that's a big problem. That's a big problem. He cannot take it. Unless he is very strong, you won't be able to take it. You won't be able to take it. And sometimes, many times they leave. Same. Even Mara sannyasis left because of this reason. And we heard their pastime sharing. So that's why no one should be singled out in a group setting. It can be talked about in the class, but it shouldn't be. Nobody should be singled out in so many people when so many devotees are there. They should be carefully followed so that here now further Lord Krishna is instructing. Sukadeva Goswami speaking, Lord Mukunda, chief of Dasarhas, having thus been respectfully requested by his best of his devotees, Sri Uddhava first acknowledged the fitness of his servant's statements. Then the Lord, whose glorious exploits are most worthy of being heard, began to reply. Lord Krishna said, O disciple of Brahaspati, there is virtually no saintly man in this world capable of resettling his own mind after it has been disturbed by insulting words of uncivilized men. Sharp arrows with pierce one's chest and reach the heart and do not cause as much suffering as the arrows of harsh, insulting words that become lodged within the heart when spoken by uncivilized men. My dear Uddhava, in this regard, a most pious story is told. I shall now describe it to you. Please listen with careful attention. And this is what we see in Avanti Brahmana's case. 24 gurus. So that's why everything we look at that's how Sri Prabhupada used to teach in the morning walk. Everything he used to see in terms of Krishna consciousness, in terms of Lord's property. He was constantly instructing. Here also Avanti Brahmana looked at everything, whether it's a bird or elephant or so many gurus he thought. He looked at and he took the positive qualities, extracted the positive qualities and applied in his own life because he's been deprived. Money was stolen and so many from his own family members and his friends. Everybody left him because everything is gone. He doesn't have anything. He was in such a precarious condition. But how he took as positively from all these 24 gurus and how he applied and went on to meditate. And this is the verse which he chanted, sannyas mantra. Even now we chant in ISKCON when somebody takes sannyas from this pastime of Avanti Brahmana. So that's why it is a very important meditation. One must follow carefully the hearing aspect and serving the lotus feet, our gurus. And if we had that also, we see that it becomes a holy place, holy dham. If somebody who had done physical service to the Lord, we should think that take the dust from that devotee who has served spiritual master, especially the physically, Vapu Seva. So few of the disciples in the last days of Sri Prabhupada leaving, many times they massage the lotus feet. It is described as so soft, and it is as good as Lord's lotus feet. They describe. So that is very important service. We shouldn't lose that chance for anything and everything. Our whole life should be given if we get opportunity to serve the law, Guru or the Lord or the pure devotee to especially physically also. Even the Vani is important, but Vapu also we should try make all efforts to make that connection and do that service, because that will help in long term whole life to meditate on that lotus feet. That particular 1 minute service we might have done it, that will help to remove all these aspects, the insults or ridiculement. Now everything will feel like insignificant when you remember that 1 minute service. So that is what is the result of the serving the Lord's lotus feet, and serving the pure devotees lotus feet brings a transformation in our hearts. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktam ki jai.
Thank you very much, Krishna Prabhu. I'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day and week ahead. I'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Narsinga, Jai Narsinga, Jai Narsinga, Praladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukhapadma Bringa, Ugravira Mahavishnu, Jalantam Sarvatra Mukham, Narsingam Vishanam Badram, Namahamiham, Narsinga Bhagavan ki Jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the Samal Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhesya kripa sindhubheva patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Vaishnavinda ki jai, Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you, Krishna Namananda.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.